Hey, welcome back to Too Long Didn't Care. I'm your host, Coy Mack, and today we're going to be talking about Ted Cruz going to Cancun, as well as Joe Biden's plans for the Second Amendment. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's been a week since I've done one of these. We had the snowstorm in basically all of the U.S. was hammered with snow, losing electricity, and just trying to keep warm. I know here in Tulsa, we actually lost electricity for a little bit. Wasn't too bad. Finding wood, though, is really difficult this time of year. If you're not prepared, which I was not, I probably should have gone and gotten wood, but I didn't. But that's what 2020 should have taught us, is how to be more prepared for eventualities that will happen. But it didn't, like an idiot. Anyway, before we get started, make sure you're going over to the Hooch page and give us a follow and a like and share, as well as heading over to our YouTube channel. Give us a like there. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can keep track. Same thing, minds.com, as well as pocketnet.app. You can find us there as well. So getting started is Ted Cruz under fire for his lack of a better word, tone deafness. That's what it was saying. It's like Ted Cruz shouldn't have done this. The optics of this is absolutely horrible. He is definitely an asshole for doing this. I like Ted Cruz. I do. At certain times. Sometimes I dislike him. Other times I do. I'm a very moderate in that regard. But Ted Cruz going to Cancun while Texas is freezing was obviously a no-brainer, no-go for any PR firm to tell you was going to be a bad idea. I don't know who let him go on this trip, but you're dumb and you should be fired. Your publicist should be fired. Like, hands down. Your publicist is wrong. You should not have gone on this trip. But it's just a continuance of how our, how better put it, our leaders, as people call them, our politicians in the U.S. do this constantly. They're always being hypocrites. Regardless of what aisle you're on, left or right, they're hypocrites. They're always going to tell you that I know what's better for you than you do. Always. They have done this since the beginning, and they always will continue to do this. This is the same sort of thing that Nancy Pelosi got in trouble for with her haircut scandal. Same thing. Everybody's locked down. All these small businesses are done. They can't get any income in. And she decides it's a great idea to go get a haircut. She's going to get a haircut. Same thing. Lori Lightfoot. She got a haircut when everybody else is locked down and losing their businesses and losing their livelihood so that they can look better for the camera. Same thing with Kerry, with his flying on a private jet to go get a environmental award, which is, you're not cutting carbon. You're not helping anybody. You're just helping yourself, because this is the only way the elites can travel is by private jets. So we're going through private jets. That's what we're doing. But yeah, Ted Cruz is definitely an asshole for doing this. He shouldn't have done that. Absolutely. Nobody can say otherwise. Like, I knocked the guy for doing that. Like, he wanted to take his family to go do that. That's fine. That's cool. But that just shows you class privilege. Everybody does it. All the elites do it. All the people with money do it. If they can escape from a cold winter area, they will do that. They've been doing it forever. And they'll also, go into the Hamptons, or they'll buy beachfront property and go rest there when shit goes south. That's exactly what happened with COVID. All the people in New York left because they didn't want to get stuck in COVID and get locked down. So that's what they did. They left. They left you, the people that couldn't afford it, to go to their second vacation home or whatever. Even Bernie has 3 homes. I mean, come on. The rest of us, like me, who live in an apartment, we don't get that choice. We have to stay here. But hey, whatever. Ted Cruz did that. He's dumb for doing it. He's an asshole for doing it. But so is, like, Nancy Pelosi and Lori Lightfoot and all these other people. But that's not the main issue that we should be talking about. What we should be thinking of while this is going on is what is actually distracting us from, right? Which is Andrew Cuomo being under investigation by the FBI for his nursing home scandal, right? Which killed a lot of people because he stuck people who had COVID in nursing homes with people that are in the age where their comorbidities and their age play a factor in them contracting the disease. And they knowingly did that. They also did not only that, they hid all of the information regarding that, and that's why one of the aides came out and said this. And now they're trying to brush this under the rug. They were hiding it so they wouldn't be investigated. But we're not talking about that because why? Because during COVID, they were saying that he was doing everything possible and right for New York, and so he was the bastion, the messiah of COVID, if you will, who was saving everybody because Trump was bad. Orange Man was bad, so therefore he could do no wrong, even though he did do wrong and he got people killed. But hey, that's the state of politics. That's what we do. We just overlook all the things that are bad so we can stick on Ted Cruz, who went to Cancun. Is he an asshole for doing it? Absolutely. Do we need to have 24-hour news coverage of how Ted Cruz went to Cancun? No, we don't. We absolutely do not need any of that. What we do need, though, is looking at the fact that Biden has pushed out another agenda of going after the Second Amendment. And this is the statement that he put, and they put out. The administration will not wait for another mass shooting to heed the call. We will take action to end our epidemic of gun violence and make our schools and communities safer. Today, I am calling on Congress to enact common sense gun law reform, including requiring background checks on all gun sales, banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and eliminating immunity for gun manufacturers who knowingly put weapons of war on the streets. We owe it to all those who have lost their lives and those left behind to grieve to make the change. This is a time to act now. Okay, so first off, the background checks isn't a non-starter for me. Sure, we could do a lot of things where we can improve the way that we handle guns and how we handle gun sales. That's fine. But making manufacturers responsible for mass shootings is wrong. We've already had this fought in court, and it didn't work. They're not responsible for what people do when they manufacture these weapons. It's the same thing. You're not responsible for a drunk driver who gets in a car, drunk, drives it, and kills a family of 4. You're saying that in that regard, you would be saying that Winchester would be responsible for somebody picking up one of their AI platforms and shooting people, would be Ford getting one of their trucks, guy getting drunk in one of their trucks, driving it into a family of 4, is the same thing. And it's not. The person responsible for killing them is what needs to be taken care of, but not the manufacturers. That's wrong. You can't do that. You cannot blame the manufacturers for what customers do with your products. Same thing with Tide Pods or Gorilla Glue in this instance, which we've already had. You cannot blame them for that. But that's not the only thing. It's the fact that Biden also plans on doing it by the pen. We're going to be looking at another instance where, after 40-some executive orders within the first few days of his presidency, we're going to add on top of that, if the Congress does not act and does not do their job, I will do it for them, which is despotic. That is exactly what a fascist would do. And they're always complaining that Trump was a fascist, but he's not the one that would actually take these measures to get something rammed through. You know, I've done that for the wall, or done some of those things for other stuff. But this is the Second Amendment. This is the Constitution. They're already coming after your First Amendment rights. Everybody's not really realizing it already, but they're coming after the First and Second Amendment rights. They're trying to cancel you. They're trying to cancel your voice with what happened with Gina Carano. And now they're coming after the Second Amendment even harder, making it harder for people to purchase firearms and to protect themselves. Same thing with magazines and loading. It's like the biggest thing that came with that, to me, was the fact that they want to ban the sales, like online sales, banned. Doing any sort of manufacturing or importing any other sort of, in their terms, assault weapons, banned, completely gone. We're going to have too many things going on if he just goes, you know what, we're just going to sign it off. We're not even going to follow the law. We're not even going to follow the Constitution. We're just doing it this way, and that's the end of it, which is wrong. We shouldn't do that. Anyway, I could rant more on this subject. I can rant more on the Second Amendment. Everybody knows that the Second Amendment is necessary to keep security in the free state. We also know that the First Amendment is there to address our grievances to to our politicians, because they work for us. They are not our leaders. They work for us. We hire them through the election process, but they still pretend that they are the new bourgeoisie and they are the new nobles who say, know your place, peasants, and, keep to what we say. Anyway, that's too long, didn't care. I'll see you guys next time.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.